starting with Dan King from the Sun.
Hi, Brendan. Enough about Claudio Ranieri. Bored of that now. Let's talk about your obviously Watford was your first job, and I'm wondering what were the biggest lessons you learned from that first experience of being in charge of the first team?
Well, firstly, I've always said, and I've repeated it many times, but I'll always be grateful for Watford for giving me the opportunity to manage at such a high level as a young manager. You know, I was 35 years of age, and I absolutely loved it there. Just going into a changing room and in that November period, and when I was sort of struggling for confidence a little bit, Eddie had done a great job prior to that, and just unfortunately then left his post, and I was lucky enough to go in and try and continue the good work. But yeah, I learned so much. The staff around me at the time were great. The players, the supporters were fantastic in terms of supporting a really young manager who had no big career in the game. You know, nothing to note at all. They probably wouldn't even known who I was, a lot of them. But they really brought me into the club and the town, and yeah, we ended up, playing some good football by the end of the season and staying up comfortably, and that was the objective going in. So I had so many good memories there. Vicarage Road was always a difficult place to go. I've always seemed to get good results there, and then the supporters, like I said, they really stayed with the team. And yeah, as I said, I always say it, and I will continue to say it. Always be thankful, really, for the opportunity.
And just as a follow up to that, and the fans, I think even when you left for Reading, the fans still acknowledged what you'd done in saving the club from relegation. But then obviously there were some fans who were upset that you left for Reading. Did you understand that then? Do you understand it now? But also on the flip side, having seen a lot more years of management now, given how crucial managers are sometimes treated and leave their jobs, do you have a different perspective on the decision you made then?
Yeah, no. I said a number of times afterwards, I made the wrong decision to leave. I think at that stage of my career, I was in a hurry. There was a lot of some struggles behind the scenes, and I've always been one where I've tried to always take the fate into my own hands with my career, and I made the decision at that time, which was the wrong decision, and I've always said that. And I understand. When you leave a club, and like when I left Celtic, I'll always understand that not everyone will be accepting of that, but it's where you have to have that, that single-mindedness as a coach and a manager at times to make the next step. And I made the next step to Reading, and it didn't work out for me. And like I said, I shouldn't have left. So, but that's the learning, especially when you're a young manager. There's lots of learning takes place through the successes, but also even more so in the failures. So yeah, but I don't have a bad word to say. Watford was amazing. I loved it there, and always be grateful.
Okay, Neil Moxley, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Neil.
I just want to concentrate on Adam Ola, if I may, for a moment. I mean, he contributed an assist tonight. Where do you think he is in his career, and are you seeing him rediscovering his joy of playing again?
So who's this, Neil? I missed that.
Mr. Look.
Yeah, he's a brilliant talent. I tried to sign him for Celtic, and we just didn't quite have the finances to bring him in at the time. Watched his career, since he was 15, 16 years of age, and yeah, he's got great skills. Firstly, you see how he presses the game. He really fits the profile of how we play. And I just think if he can get at home and really settle and build his career in a really good environment and a really good culture, I just think he can really flourish over the next numbers of years. He's moved about around a few clubs. One, because he's a talent. People want him. But for me, as a person, he's a great guy. He wants to get better. He wants to improve. He's super professional, and he has big talent. And what I will say is that thus far, he hasn't played in his best position.
Right.
His best position is from the left side. But he's so talented, he can play comfortably off the right, where he has been. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Addy, not just his game, but how professional he is. And yeah, I've been delighted for him.
Do you have the option? Do you have the option of making it permanent, Brendan, or is it simply a loan?
No, that'll be between the clubs. I think it's the case of, listen, let's see how we go through the season. He's definitely a really gifted player, but also a great professional. So yeah, but we'll see. Once we get past Christmas and into the new year, we'll assess it from there.
Thanks, Brendan. All the best.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, James Sharp.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, James.
James Maddison was interviewed after the game on the television and was asked if he felt like he had a point to prove. And I wouldn't say he got like defensive about it, but he was quite. He said, "Well, I've not got a point to prove. It's been more about me getting back to affecting games like I know that I can do." What's your view on James? Obviously, you got a goal and assist tonight. That's much more of the Madders we know and have seen before. How did you view it? How do you view his current form and role? Because he's been in and out on the side, of course.
Yeah, probably like the teams, a little bit inconsistent. But I think that it's, as I said, it was after the weekend, just simplifying the game for the team again and getting the organisation right. I haven't been overly enthused by the times when I analysed the game afterwards, at times how we haven't pressed the game in a synchronised way. So really it's about getting the team back into that shape in order to press the game and counter-press the game, and then we can play. And James is a big part of that, of course. But we're a team that have to work and have to run, and I think that's why the inconsistency has been there. Tonight you've seen the consistency throughout the game and the concentration level. And for James, when he's at that level, like some of our players, they're really top-class players. I thought he was excellent tonight. Firstly, like I said, in his defending, his aggression, his counter-pressing, he was up there. And then when the ball was the other side of him, he ran back. And then when he had the ball, that then gives you the energy and the tempo to play. And like you say, great delivery for the corner, brilliant piece of skill for the goal. And yeah, it was just a shame he had to come off.
We know that he loves to be that kind of, that we love to see that swagger that he's got when he's controlling games, when he's doing what everyone knows he can do. Because he has been a bit in and out and is struggling with injuries and things like that. How's he been away from it all? Has he been frustrated? Have you had to, what have you kind of said to him to keep him from getting overly frustrated, I guess?
No, I think James he's a very reflective young man. He knows himself. Like the team, that we haven't quite been at the level consistently enough, and he's honest enough to reflect on that. But yeah, tonight hopefully for him and the team can be a performance and a result that then starts to get back to our level again. But with young players, I think that's the important thing, James. When you create an environment and a culture. A coaching culture, it's really about support and continuous improvement. So that's what you hope to, and that's what you want to see. And at times there's going to, sometimes it'll stall. Sometimes that's the way it is for whatever reasons. But having that environment will always allow them to continue that progression. Your attention, please. What he was actually saying there, I'll just translate that. What he was saying was, I can't believe you guys are still up at 11:30 at night asking me questions.
We can't either.
It wouldn't be a Thursday otherwise, Brendan.
All right, we'll finish with Jerry Cox then. Thanks, guys.
You'll be getting shouted at, guys, at home if you're not careful. Keep the noise down.
Thanks for your patience. I'm guessing it's been a long day for you.
Yeah, quite long.
I'll keep it quite short.
It's okay. You're fine.
For your next 5 opponents, they've just changed manager, and so those guys are sort of still getting their feet under the table, trying to impose their style on their clubs. Is that a good thing from your point of view, or does it make it a little bit harder to sort of work out how they're going to play because you haven't been able to see a lot of them?
Not really, Jerry. No, I think the coverage now of teams and games and managers, you normally have a good idea. Of course, sometimes can be difficult when it's the first game with a new manager going in. But there's enough exposure now to games and teams and see the trends in managers to understand how they might want to play and how they might want to work. So yeah, we do lots of analysis and lots of work on that, on the opposition, and yeah, it's never nice when managers move on and lose their job, of course. But you always have to then be professional and prepare and look at what they might do with the new manager as opposed to the former manager.
And again, 4 of those 5 clubs, 5 games coming up in the league, they're teams in the lower half. Are they? And then you've got those 2 tough games after Christmas with City and Liverpool. Are those ones, the first 4 of those 5, are they the ones that you really target to sort of move yourself out of this position and sort of get yourself into a position of relative security going into the new year?
Well, firstly, I'm only looking at Watford. That's the reality. In football, you're talking about managers losing their jobs. You can't afford to look too far ahead. You can only look at the next game. So that's the first thing. The second thing, we're within touch and distance of where we want to be. Considering that we haven't made a most consistent start. If we're talking top 6, we're very close to that in the early part of the season. So I expect us to be challenging as the season goes on, but you want to be in contention as early as you can, of course. And I hope tonight the confidence from the team we can then take into the weekend's game, and that's our only focus. The teams that you're saying towards the bottom of the league, they're the hardest games, and they can be. So the Premier League, there's no easy game, and as I said, for us, it's managing our own expectations and what it is we want to achieve, and just controlling that really.
Okay, folks, we'll end things there.